You're listening to the Gilbert King Elisa Show.
Appreciate good service. Many of us will come in contact with having to deal with customer service for either billing issues, technical issues, or overall general support issues for a product or service that we've bought, or even are just using on a monthly basis, on a weekly basis, whatever the case. But one thing that we know is that customer service or customer support, as it's now called, will many times get us upset, and it's usually because the person that has been designated to give us support is not actually giving us any support or service of value. And in saying that, I'm going to say that the best way to lose a customer for any company is to have people who are designated to help people who are in need of help, having those people ill-trained or giving overall bad service. Now, many times when we call companies, you will realize that the person that is on the other end of the phone is not a very good listener. And by that I mean many times after they have heard the problem, you explain to them that you've called before, and even after you've given them your name, your last name, your phone number, your email address, you've confirmed the address, they've gone back for a second to check the information on the status of your case, that many times it's open or many times it's been closed, but it's still pending some kind of approval. You'll see that they haven't really checked the status of the case or come back to you with any feedback that is helpful in your situation. Or many times the things that they have been using to assist to troubleshoot your situation are not things that are very helpful. And you're going to see that in many jobs this is the case. The people who are helping you either are doing the bare minimum to help you, they're helping you enough, and then you're going to see other people who overextend themselves to give you the best possible assistance possible. And these are the people that make our day, the people who overextend themselves to make sure that we've had the best experience when we are under their care. So I say this to say that many times we forget to appreciate these people for their good service, whether it's a waitress at a restaurant, a waiter at a restaurant, even at a fast food joint, even if it's the cashier at a movie house, even if it's the person that's in charge of opening the door for us where we work, even if it's the person that cleans our office. And you're going to see that the kinder you are to these people, the better service you receive, even if it's the other person at the other end of this telephone call that has not only served you, but has followed up on an issue or doesn't let you hang up the phone until you are satisfied, or after they've done every possible thing that they can to make sure that the problem is not going to be a reoccurring one. They've checked to see that your billing status is up to date. They're going to make sure that you received the right merchandise, that you've returned the right merchandise. They've gone out of their way to make sure that they've emailed you the correct information, a link so you can check the status of your order. They can tell you when you'll receive the refund. They can tell you when you can expect to get the product, who to call if you don't receive the product, the number, a contact name. These are all things that a customer can appreciate, especially if they've never received this kind of service before. So when you receive something that you haven't gotten before, you might want to call the company back and just say, you know what, this person who was helping me deserves some kind of commendation for exemplary service. And it's something that you might also want to include in your report to the company when they give you a survey after you finish the call, you might also want to tell someone about it, because the quickest way for repeated good service is to let people know about it. Many times people feel invisible, and the reason people feel invisible is because they feel whether they do good service or bad service, no one's going to notice. And many times that's the reason that a lot of the service is poor. Now, we know that's not the only reason. We know that a lot of the reason that service is poor is because management many times isn't in order, and management is not is the cause of hiring people that give poor service. But also many times management doesn't follow up on what on their workers and also the customer. So there's a lot that falls on the customer in that situation. A lot of that falls on the customer service and to the person who's in charge of taking care of the customer when they call. So, but when you receive someone that has gone out of their way to make sure that you are happy where you are, you're receiving your money's worth, because it's easy to take someone's money and say, well, we sold this product, we got the money for this product, and we made a profit out of it. But many times the real service begins when the product doesn't work, or the product is defective, or the product is not of the customer's liking. Many times that's when you realize, well, this is not a good company, because once they received my money, I didn't hear from them again when I tried to explain my worries and my concerns about this product that might be defective. Many times that's when you realize I should have gone with another company. And many times you'll see that companies that provide bad customer service are companies that won't stay in business too long. They're the companies that many times you'll see that they have a grand opening and then they'll have a grand closing immediately. I remember when doing business with such a company, and it's a well-known company. It's a car rental place, and in doing business with them, they were their corporate office was very friendly, but their local office was not friendly at all. And if you read the reviews of their local service compared to the corporate service, it was like comparing apples to oranges, to use a cliche. And because the local office had poor reviews as to helping customers when it came to reservations, when it came to billing, when it came to anything that you can imagine under the sun, just being rude, refunds not being honored, discounts not being honored, reservations not being honored. So that kind of thing, that is what brings a company down. And a few months later, I saw that company was closed, and no one was really surprised. And they opened another office, but miles away from where people can usually, where people really need it, or can use it, or can utilize it. So that's the kind of thing that you want to keep an eye out for. Reviews are very helpful. Many times reviews, if you read the reviews, they're made by people that are asking for too much. But if you really read all the reviews, you'll see that some of them are authentic concerns that people have about a company that has not fulfilled their requirements as far as a company that's in business towards the customer. So when we see a good service, we need to appreciate it. I was just on the phone with Amazon, with customer care, and they were able to get an issue resolved and with ease. And this was a product that I bought and didn't work. They sent me a new product out. The new product didn't work either. I was able to send it back without a problem. I didn't have to pay for customers for return shipment. I didn't have to pay for any of that. And they immediately gave me a refund. The person on the phone was very courteous. One thing you might want to look out for is sometimes the person on the phone is very friendly and courteous, but they are not knowledgeable about the product at all. And instead of asking for help or learning more about the product or what your concern is, they'll sometimes put you on hold for a long time, and then sometimes they'll just hang up and the connection will mysteriously disappear. So you want to make sure that you're receiving not only friendly service, but more importantly, effective service, and from someone who is not knowledgeable about the product that they are representing. With that being said, again, if you know someone that is giving good service, let that person know. When I receive good service, I stayed on the phone for actually 20 minutes with the person, and I'm not necessarily looking for fast service, because fast service many times means that the problem is going to reoccur. And she took very good care of me. She made sure that I had the proper tracking numbers. She emailed me a copy of the tracking number, a link to the for the tracking number, a hyperlink, and she was also able to tell me when I was able to expect the refund, when I'd be able to receive a new shipment of the defective product. But she was able to do this to the best of her abilities. And what she didn't know, she was asking questions. She was saying, well, you spoke to someone last week. What did they say? So while she was investigating on her behalf, she was also asking questions to gain new information so she can further assist me. And I can't ask, as a customer, I can't ask for anything more than that. So the young lady who helped me, her name was Jessica. And Jessica, I hope that you are able to quickly rise in that organization, because that kind of service, I like that you're in a position where you're able to give the service. For many times, the people who are in these positions, they go overlooked. And if Amazon's a great company, I hope that she is someone that they're able to recognize her service, and her customer feedback ranking is a high one, and they're able to send her within the company. With that being said, thank you, everyone. Thank you. Try your best. Do your best. Respect one another.